Well, tomorrow is the long-awaited PlayStation 5 Reveal Event, and now another major rumor is coming out with another possible reveal coming tomorrow, and it's something that I've been referencing possibly happening, and a lot of you guys may have thought that it was unlikely to happen, but now a new rumor is suggesting that God of War 2 PlayStation 5 announcement is coming tomorrow, and I really didn't think it was that out of the realm of possibility, because look at the timetable. I know it still seems kind of early and recent that God of War 2018 came out like somewhat recently. I mean, yeah, it was 2.5 years ago, but it was 2.5 years ago. That's a long time in the game development world, and they've been working on a follow-up title. I mean, if you got to the end of God of War, you know it's not the end of this story. You know it's gonna continue. And now it's looking kind of likely that we might hear something tomorrow. I wouldn't expect it to be a launch title, but we'll talk all about that. Also, Mass Effect Trilogy has been in the news quite a bit. It took EA a little while to make a trilogy of Mass Effect, and while it's still not officially confirmed, it is rumored to release this fall, and a reveal is likely coming next week. We'll talk that, and No Man's Sky gets yet another major update dropping tomorrow, and it might be one of the most requested features yet, and that is cross-platform play. We'll talk that at the end of this video. But first of all, how about this new rumor? God of War 2 PlayStation 5 announcement could be coming tomorrow. After months of waiting and a week-long delay, Sony's Future of Gaming PlayStation 5 Reveal Event is finally taking place tomorrow, June 11th. They really did not waste any time after delaying it for a week, and I can understand why from a Sony standpoint. Look, last Thursday would have been a really promotionally bad time to announce the PlayStation 5. It would have been promotional malpractice, to be frank about it, just because, yes, there was a lot of stuff going on, but if you just strictly talk about it from a marketing and promotional standpoint, remove everything else, they were not going to get the attention that the PlayStation 5 would have gotten had everything been equal and the world would have been normal. Is the world normal right now? Absolutely not. It is still chaotic as hell. However, at some point, there has to be a balancing act of when do we announce the PlayStation 5 and get the ball rolling so we can get that media attention, but at the same time, we can't wait forever given that this console is probably going to be out sometime in the fall, probably in November. You really need to get the ball rolling and start getting people excited. The upcoming event, which was originally scheduled to take place June 4th, has been posted by Sony to be the first in a series of PlayStation 5 updates, and rumor has it that a State of Play event will be held in August, State of Play being the YouTube series that they run and the video event series that they run. One developer that could possibly show up is Santa Monica Studios, which the God of War Studios gameplay director G. Troff may be hinting towards on Twitter. While many developers are expected to appear at the event, this is the first indication that Santa Monica themselves is among them. Noting on Twitter, Jeet noted, "Come join us as we get into the details about what the future has in store." Now, him specifically noting on Twitter got a lot of people thinking that, hey, Sony Santa Monica is gonna be there and they might reveal something new. I would be a big fan if Santa Monica took the Naughty Dog route, and instead of just releasing another God of War game and announcing a God of War game, how about you shake things up? How about you intersperse God of War with another franchise? I know that's not realistic for every studio to do, but I think the studios that do that, where they do work on a variety of different IPs, I think they're fresher off because of it. I hope Insomniac does that as well. I would love to see Insomniac do Spider-Man and Ratchet & Clank. What does that mean ultimately for these franchises? Probably a longer wait in between games. However, if you can get a God of War game out every 4 years and then you could crank out a game in between that, you know, in the 2-year period, I think that would be very advantageous. Now, maybe that's a little bit of an arduous task asking a developer to do that. Obviously, development studios are huge and you can split up teams and things of that nature. There will be people working on multiple projects, but I just think it's a really good idea to do that. I think it keeps the development studio fresh. I think from a gamer standpoint, it always gives us something new to look forward to. It's just something that I've always wanted, and that's why I like Naughty Dog going that route. But you see Naughty Dog's development time these days. Look, Last of Us 1 came out in 2013, Uncharted 4 2016, Last of Us Part 2 2020. Are you really going to want to wait, 8 years before a franchise gets a game if we're talking about 4-year developments, lifespans and timetables for a game to actually get out there? Game development times are getting lengthier and lengthier, so maybe in that sense it's best for a studio to focus on one game at a time and one IP at a time. Nevertheless, that's just my 2 cents. God of War 2 is something a lot of people have not been talking about. However, I know all of the attention is on Horizon 2 Demon's Souls Remake. I would not be surprised at all if they want to throw out a teaser trailer for God of War 2 tomorrow, just because you want to get the ball rolling and you want to let the consumer know that, hey, these major IPs are coming to the PlayStation 5, while all of the priority and the main attention should be on the games that are going to be at launch in the launch window. And God of War 2, who knows? It could be at the launch window. I don't know the development timetable for a game like this. God of War 2018 took a long time to develop because they ground up rebuilt God of War, And obviously that's going to take quite a while. However, now they kind of have the fundamentals in place, so maybe they can get out a game a little bit earlier. Come spring of 2021, that would have been 3 years since the release of God of War 2018, and that kind of says a lot about when we might be seeing this game. Take it as a rumor for now, but it is possible. Alright, moving on from that, something that seems very, very likely, I would put it at a guarantee. Mass Effect Trilogy Remastered to release this fall, reveal likely coming next week. A new report posted on Game Reactor suggests that the remaster of the first 3 entries in the popular series is currently in development and scheduled to release this fall worldwide to take the place of EA's franchises like Battlefield and Star Wars Battlefront, which won't see a new release this year. The reveal is also apparently not too far off, as it is likely happening during this year's EA Play event, so that is coming up. The rumored remasters of the Mass Effect trilogy are real, and the last update I got about it a few weeks ago still had the collection slated for this fall to take place of the company's usual blockbusters Battlefield and Star Wars Battlefront. BioWare's social media channels have been teasing it for months by sharing beloved music from the trilogy, so I wouldn't be surprised if we get to see our favorite remasters on the Citadel at EA Play Live at 1 a.m. CEST, 12 a.m. BST on June 19th, so that will be coming up. I don't know why it's taken EA and the team this long to realize that they have a vault catalog of incredible IPs, whether it be Dragon Age, whether it be Mass Effect, whether it be Skate. Goddamn, give me that Skate. They are remastering Crysis, so that's good. Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic could see a little bit of a rework done. They've got so many quality IPs, and BioWare's worked on a lot of great games, and a lot of their games recently have left a lot to be desired, especially from a BioWare side of things. But Mass Effect Trilogy is still something that is near and dear to a lot of people's hearts, even if the Mass Effect 3 ending left a lot to be desired. In my opinion, Mass Effect 2 is literally one of the best made games ever, just because that game was so stellar all around. If you look at Mass Effect 1, that was a great game. However, mechanically, it left a lot to be desired as a third-person shooter. Mass Effect 2 completely overhauled the game from a mechanical standpoint. It had the great story, but the third-person shooting gameplay, top-notch, and it was incredible on that end as well. The DLC was pretty good, and it was just a phenomenal game. Mass Effect 2 still stands out to me as one of the greatest RPGs of all time, and the fact that we're going to be able to revisit it, hey, there might be an audience of people that haven't even played Mass Effect 2, because at this point, when did Mass Effect 3 come out? I believe it was all the way back in 2012. If you were, say, 10 years old in 2012, well, you're a older 18-year-old adult now, and maybe Mass Effect is the kind of game that is going to be a little bit more up your alley, and maybe you didn't even want to jump into Mass Effect 3 right away because you never played ME1 and 2 when ME1 came out in 07 and ME2 came out in 2010. Well, you guys get the idea. Yes, Mass Effect to a lot of you guys, you're like, who hasn't played Mass Effect? Is it really that big of a deal to get this trilogy remaster? Well, yeah, it is, because a lot of people are going to be playing it as revisiting the title, but there's also a large number of consumers that just have never played the game. You have to realize there are new video game fans that are born every day, and they're growing into adults, and they're realizing that they missed out on a lot of great games. And yeah, maybe they could go back into the vault and play Mass Effect, but how are you going to do that on the PlayStation 4 if your PlayStation 4 only doesn't have backwards compatibility, and an ME Trilogy is really going to offer you something great? So let's hope that that drops this fall. And lastly, No Man's Sky gets cross-platform play on June 11th. Patch notes are live right now. A new post on the game's official website confirmed that the game will be getting full cross-platform play support tomorrow on June 11th, so how about that? The game will also join the Xbox Game Pass library on console and PC, so for that audience, that's really good. They noted a tremendous amount of work has gone into the update and the underlying technology and systems. We moved to an entirely new network architecture with more flexibility for the future, allowing players to play together regardless of platform. I'm very proud of the team that has worked so hard to make this happen. Meanwhile, we are continuing to work hard on new content updates, large and small, for the future. Making No Man's Sky available to vast new audiences and allowing those audiences to come together has been something we've been building towards for a long time. We're lucky to have one of the nicest and most welcoming gaming communities there is. It's a delight to be able to allow them to play together. The big question is, who have you always wanted to play with? They have notes on Game Pass. The game will be available on the Windows Store and on Game Pass for X1 and Windows 10 players. Cross-platform multiplayer, they go into depth on that. No Man's Sky's friendless chat options, re-enabled voice chat on PC, quality of life improvements, VR improvements, and bug fixes, and general bug fixes as well. I won't go over every nitty-gritty on the fixes, but No Man's Sky is one game that started out absolutely abysmally, and now it's turned out to be a very good game. I don't think it's a stretch to say that. It is a quality title. Is it perfect? Absolutely not, but Hello Games has remained committed to it, and we've seen a lot of games come out in years past where, yeah, it doesn't launch great, and then the developer just goes to the wayside. Maybe they'll update it for a couple of months, and then they realize, okay, there's no coming back, but Hello Games has remained committed, and it's legitimately a very good game now, which back in 2016, I wouldn't have thought that would be a possibility, but there you go. That's why I always say games that launch a little bit lukewarm, they always have the opportunity to come back. Sure, I don't think Anthem at this point is making a comeback, but NMS, games like Final Fantasy XIV, they can definitely be looked as a case study for games making miraculous comebacks. So that's going to conclude this video. Again, new rumors suggesting God of War 2 PlayStation 5 announcement could be coming tomorrow, Mass Effect Trilogy Remastered to release this fall, and No Man's Sky gets cross-platform play on June 11th. That's going to wrap up this video. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.